Welcome to the October issue of Shutter Magazine, the Portraits issue. I'm Philip Bloom at Bloom Photography Studios today and talking to you about this question that I think we've all asked ourselves at some point. Can email really drive print sales and bring up our bottom line for our profits in our photography studio? Ultimately, many of us begin as shoot and burners. You may be a shoot and burn photographer, simply meaning that you don't really deal in prints or products, you don't have in-person sales meetings, but you deliver the email with the gallery after the session. And maybe if you're using an online gallery like ShootProof or many of those options, you at least put in there, it's not hard to do. You tick the option, yes, if they want to order prints directly from me, then they can. And you'll simply make profits. The print lab can actually interface with your online gallery. So those prints go direct to the lab and are sent straight to the customer. You never have to touch a print, but you're at least making some profits. And you think that sounds like a good idea. What happens though is we tend to send those galleries out to the world and we don't really see any orders and we wonder why. Well, I want to explain to you a simple concept of online selling. In case you don't want to really tackle in-person sales, at least you can make some profit online, which is what Eileen and I do, both in-person sales and when we're working with clients who are either destination clients or too far to come in the studio. We found ways to keep our sales averages up even with just online selling, which is unheard of. So I just want to give you an idea of how to do that. Here's the basic idea. And then I'm going to give you one example of an email sequence we use, 11 emails that are automated that we can send to customer after customer that really boost those sales. The concept is simply this. What's missing in online sales when you simply send a gallery with the option to click prints and buy and you're hoping someone will click is that you've taken the human element completely out of the equation. Now imagine that you owned a physical studio or just a physical retail store. And when a customer came through the door, you had an employee who just sat behind the counter, didn't acknowledge them, didn't say hello, didn't come up and shake their hand, didn't ask them if they could answer any questions, didn't show them samples of your products. You would not really be happy with that employee, right? You'd probably fire that lazy employee. And yet that's exactly what all of us do in our photography studios when we simply send out a product and hope somebody will click and buy. We're not creating that human connection, which is really the reason that people purchase things. They purchase for emotional reasons, things that are of real value to them. In the case of our photos, sentimental value is real. We just have to make that connection. So here's what I suggest you do. Instead of just sending out a gallery email that allows them to open the gallery and buy, let's do something strategic. Here's what we do with our portrait sales. Email number one is a teaser. So many of you are already sending sneak peeks after a portrait session. That's great. You want to do that because trust is the number one sentiment, the number one feeling you want to create between you and your customer in order to lead to sales. People will buy when they trust you, and they already value your product. You, as a photographer, you have that going for you. You don't have to convince them they need this product. You've taken their portrait. They already feel sentimentally attached to this personal item. So you have got a great start. The trick with sending this first teaser email, this sneak peek, is that you don't want to spoil it with too many pictures, right? You don't want to go ahead and give away the whole experience. Just one image will do. That will build confidence in them, letting them know that you have the images safe and sound, you're editing them, and you've reached out to them before they've had to email you to ask for an update. But you're going to save all the rest of the emails for an official reveal, or what we call our premiere. And you can do this online. It doesn't have to be in person. Okay, so that's the teaser. And along with that email, sending them their sneak peek, you're also going to include a menu of all of the prints and any items, whether it's canvases or coffee table books that you want to offer. Include that menu with the prices a la carte, and also include some kind of sale that you're going to offer during their reveal, right? So it sounds like you're setting them up for an in-person sales meeting. And that's essentially what you're doing, is you're building anticipation instead of just sending them the gallery. We get our family picture taken every year. I know that we have had galleries sent to us, and even we, the Blooms, Eileen and Philip Bloom, who extraordinarily value photography, even we've been guilty of getting that email wow, getting excited, opening it real quickly, getting an overview. Oh, the pictures look great. Okay, now we got to run. Now we got to take the girls to ballet. Now we weren't expecting it. We weren't allowed to anticipate it or schedule it into our calendar. And so we left the gallery, and even we have been guilty of never ordering a single print, which seems ridiculous when you paid for a portrait session. But that's what all of us as humans do. So let's schedule that with the teaser. The second email will be the confirmation. And the confirmation, you're just going to remind them the day before their scheduled reveal, the time that their gallery is scheduled to go live online, you're going to remind them that's coming up tomorrow. You're also going to, in our case, this is just an option, but we give our Skype name because we're actually going to talk with them for just 10 or 15 minutes by Skype before we give them their password to the gallery. So we're really making that human connection and doing some valuable things. If you're a high volume studio and you can't just Skype 10 minutes with every client, that's all right. Just create one generic video, like the video I'm creating to talk to you now, and use that video to explain the gallery, just to explain how to choose favorites in the gallery, and kind of direct them so they at least get that human interaction with you by seeing you on a video. Okay? And then finally, that confirmation email is going to lead them into email number 3. So the gallery invitation. The next day, this is the only email that you were sending before, right? But in this case, it's email number 3. You're going to send them the gallery invitation. This is either right after you've talked with them on Skype for 10 minutes, or send them this email, and at the top of the email include a video that not only tells them how to use their gallery, but gives them a link to a slideshow. So we use Animoto and Smart Slides. We've used both of those depending on the client type we're working with, and they're brilliant software that allow you to create emotive slideshows that no matter what mood your client comes to the purchasing time in, if they've had a bad day, this is going to reset the mood and allow them to connect and see the sentimental value. If they don't see the value, they're not going to purchase. So the slideshow, I find, is very important for that purpose. And then after they've seen that, then they have the password, they can log in, and you've already instructed them specifically, go in there and start choosing favorites. You don't have to purchase right away. Here's the menu of our prices again. Here's the specials, and these are only good for the next 2 days. And so you need to sit down at the scheduled time and pick your favorites. But just go in there and pick favorites, see how many favorites you have, and then you can decide how you'd like to display them, what prints you'd like to order. So you're just planting seeds that ordering prints is the system. That's the expectation. That's what people do. And you're educating them, not by bashing them over the head with instructions, but just simply leading them along, guiding them by the hand, just like you would if they walked into your physical retail store. Now, the 4th email is going to be the selection email. This comes the day after they should have sat down for their scheduled time to look at their gallery. And they should have, in this email number 4, you're just going to kind of, in a friendly way, say, I hope you're on target. I hope that by now you've had a chance to select your favorites and think about how you'd like to display those images. And what we do, we use 17 Hats as our studio management system. So we're able to send them an email that actually has a quote built in, that just right there in the email, we've listed our top 3 artwork packages. We're including prints and an enlargement and maybe a small coffee table book or album to put several favorites in. And each one of those is bundled together. So they can actually just press a button and say, okay, yes, I would like this package that includes all of this number of images because that's how many favorites I had. So you've brought them through that process. Now they have an idea of what they should be choosing. And they know that these prices, these great sales prices, are not going to last through till tomorrow. So this is their opportunity to click and purchase. Now you've made a big sale. Now let's move on to what about just family and friends visiting the same gallery and just additional print sales here and there. We're going to include that here as well. So email number 5, after you've made your first sale and the gallery's only been open to your client directly, email number 5, you're actually going to send this email out to friends and family, offering them first a hook. You have to bring them into the gallery somehow. People are busy, so encourage them to come in. We usually, for portrait sessions, offer you to come into our gallery and you can download a web-sized, one free web-sized digital file, which grandparents and relatives might want to come in and get. Or if it's a wedding, certainly, at the wedding you've taken various family portraits of families that came up to you and asked for a picture. This is their chance to come in, and we usually allow them to order one free 5x7. But once they come into the gallery, then our gallery is offering 20% discount for the next limited time. For however you want to set it up, we usually set that up for just a couple days to make sure that people have had a chance to see the email and then make good on it right away. Email number 6. This is simple. This is just business about the studio, but it's a receipt email. And this is what's going to keep your orders, especially that order to your client directly, keep your studio moving smoothly, avoid expensive mistakes. So send them the receipt of what they purchased, and it will have, if you're using software like ShootProof, that order can simply include all the thumbnails. They can see, oh yes, that's exactly what I ordered. Or they can see, oh, that's a mistake, and correct it before you've actually ordered it and printed something. So that's just keeping your business moving smoothly and efficiently. Email 7 is a survey. I think this is the most overlooked tool that small businesses forget about. Survey is incredibly important because we tend not want to send it out. We don't want to hear criticism back. But if we send a survey to a client, even if they had a mediocre experience, they're able to see that we care and that we're trying to improve. And that even improves relationships. But if you're also going to get great reviews on your surveys, and when you get those great reviews back, you know exactly which clients you should be asking for reviews online. And so that's going to be email number 8. You ask that client nicely for a review. You just let them know that this is how we keep our business running, and we get to meet more great families like you. We really appreciate the review. And you can give them a link to whichever your favorite review site is. We tend to stick with Google reviews as our favorite. Now, number 9 is holiday cards. So you're getting along in the year. Remember, it's not just your clients during the winter who are wanting Christmas cards and other holidays. It's clients that you've had throughout the year who need those. So have a template, drop every family's picture from throughout the year into that template, and send them a personalized email that allows them to go back into their gallery and order Christmas cards from that same gallery that they had earlier in the year. It's amazing what additional sales you can get from that. And then 10, this is especially great for wedding couples or any kind of celebratory portrait session, anniversary email. So if in the case of a wedding, we would like to send this to the groom, maybe privately, just to the groom, and encourage him, hey, listen, you get some brownie points, give a sentimental gift on this first anniversary, don't forget your anniversary. And you can go into the gallery, again, a hook, you can download a free 5x7, or not download, we usually allow a free 5x7 print for them to order, so they know it's going to come in nice quality. You can include that in your anniversary card this year. And by the way, 50% or better off of anything you order. Remember, these are bonus sales at this point. So you're giving him no excuse not to order something special out of the wedding artwork that they have, out of other portrait artwork. And then email 11 is a portrait contest. I won't go into